All right. So I was looking at a company,
Yeah.
and so this company is called, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but it's called Grab. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't heard of Grab.
Awesome. So Grab is basically the Uber / Lyft / Uber Eats sort of thing
Yeah.
of Southeast Asia.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
we're doing another food delivery.
yeah, we are.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
they do more. I'll explain it. So
Okay.
so they founded in like June 2012.
Yeah.
And the headquarters is in Singapore.
Okay.
Cool. And so what they say on their one-liner in their like metadata on Google is that they provide everyday services like deliveries, mobility, financial services, and more.
Yeah.
And they are, Grab is the Southeast Asia's leading super app, is what they call it.
Super app. Okay.
Super app, one word. So, do you want to guess how many employees they have? Just because it's a fun thing to do.
6,000.
Yes, they have 6,000.
How did I get that? That's wild.
Wow. Yeah, you know, on MFM,
Yeah.
Sean always talks about he likes
says
guessing
if you
because he gets
guess-
better at it.
If you guess, you get
Well,
better.
there you go.
Yeah. All right. I'm impressed at myself.
Anytime. Okay, so the CEO is a guy named Anthony Tan.
Yeah.
And I've got a quick little rundown of his history. So 2004, he completed a Bachelor of Arts at the University of Chicago,
Okay.
majoring in economics. And 2011,
Good major, you could say.
yeah, he completed his MBA at Harvard.
Okay.
So, that's more relevant. And then also in 2011, he founded Grab.
Right. Okay.
I don't know what it looked like at that point, but he founded it then. He has a co-founder called Tan Hoi Ling, and
His last name is Tan, and his co-founder's first name is Tan.
yes.
Nice.
Although it's worth noting that sometimes with these
it's hard
Asian
to tell
names,
which one's the first name and which one's the last
that
name.
might be
Okay.
the first last, like a bit of a different system.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2006, she completed a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering,
Okay.
and 2011 she completed an MBA at Harvard as well. Maybe that's where they met. I'm going to assume that's where they met in some sort of course at Harvard. And then 2011 obviously founded Grab at the same time. But the interesting thing is for her, she in 2012 went on to become associate at McKinsey Management Consulting.
Yeah.
And
Is that the one that's in? Is that the famous one that's in Boston?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
And in 2013, she was a senior director at Salesforce.
Ah, yeah, that's cool.
Randomly.
Yeah.
And in 2015, she finally became a full-time executive at Grab.
Yeah.
And 2021, just on the side, is a director at a company called TransferWise,
Ah, yeah.
which is now just called Wise.
Oh, really? They changed?
Yeah, they changed their name. So anyway,
That must have been pretty recent.
they did. It's like in the last maybe month.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Because they want to be, this is off topic, but TransferWise, they said the reason why they changed it was they want to be like all-encompassing of life, not just related to finance.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they called it Wise. So main competitors, as I said, what do you think? Probably like Uber, Lyft, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so what do they provide? Well, they operate mostly in Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia.
Yep.
Okay. And they do, they have 5 main services.
Yep.
Which is deliveries, which is food deliveries specifically. And an alternative to the traditional dining options are home-cooked food.
Yeah.
And dine-in restaurants.
So, what are you saying that they'll provide you with home cooked food?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure, like, how that works if someone cooks something and the chicken's off, but it's just a home cooked dinner. I really don't know how it works.
I'm sure the laws are a lot looser about that stuff, though.
Possibly. So that might not really work.
Yeah.
To scale. But anyway, so they do a thing called Express, which is their parcel delivery service.
Yeah.
They do a service called Mobility, which is their alternative to like normal modes of transport. So it's basically like their ride-sharing, carpool, ride-hailing service. And then they do digital advertising as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So they've broken into that space, which is cool. So at that point, they're now targets for Facebook, Google, etc. So in regards to, and the fifth option is, or the fifth service that they provide is actually financial services, which is very interesting because that providing financial services, they're now moved into the fintech world. So financial services include digital wallet and a card called GrabPay card, insurance, investment, loans, and pay later services. So at that point, there's quite an array of competitors within their space, being from pay now later services.
Buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
BNPL.
We've talked about some of those before.
Have we?
Haven't we?
Oh, okay.
I thought we've talked about the big Australian one. What's
No.
Afterpay?
No, we haven't.
Oh, we haven't?
We
Okay,
haven't
so
talked
Afterpay and similar services would be now be a
we haven't done
competitor?
it. We haven't done it as a company. I don't know.
Okay. Maybe we've just mentioned it.
Maybe we mentioned it. Yeah.
And so, so fintech, ride-hailing, food delivery, and digital advertising. So a bunch of different services.
So is the digital advertising just? Are they just like advertising on their own app, or are they branching out to?
I think they allow
like, does that
digital
just mean-
advertising within their app.
Yeah. So that just means banner ads and stuff. It's
Yep.
just like
Yes.
It's not like they're helping someone else get their ad onto a different service.
I
Or you don't know.
think they might also offer other people's services.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Like broker other people's services or whatever that.
Because that could be
looks like.
cool. Yeah, that'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it says the goal here is to provide alternatives to traditional advertising mediums.
Yeah.
So it sounds kind of cool. So in regards to the timeline and performance of
F-150?
key
F-250?
milestones, that's cool. It's an old F-250, really cool. Okay, so in start of 2012 / the end of 2011.
Yeah.
They, at the start of 2012, they launched their first service, which is Grab Taxi.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And that was in Malaysia. Then they expanded to Singapore, Philippines, Thailand in 2013.
Yeah.
A year later. 2014, they launched Grab Car and Grab Bike in Indonesia and Vietnam.
Yeah.
Then in 2015, Grab Express, which was their delivery service.
Yeah.
For parcels. 2016, Grab Share. I'm actually not sure what that is.
Yeah, okay.
2017, they surpassed $1 billion in sales.
Yeah.
Or revenue. And they launched GrabPay in Cambodia and Myanmar.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There goes the F-250 back up the road.
Oh, he's a noisy boy. He's having fun.
Wow, that was very loud. Sorry. Okay, so just 2017. Wow, you can really still hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In 2018, they surpassed $5 billion, and they made acquisitions of Uber's business in
So
Southeast
hang on,
Asia.
2017 they passed $5 billion in revenue.
Yes.
What was the one before that? The $1 billion?
No, sorry. $1 billion was 2017.
2017.
$5 billion 2018.
Wow. So they grew 500% or 400% or whatever that
Well,
is.
in the same year, they made an acquisition of Uber's business
Yeah,
in
okay.
Southeast Asia. I assume they're including that
Yeah. Okay.
in their numbers. And then they also launched Grab Food and Grab Ads, which is the digital marketing that I was just talking about.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
2019, surpassing $10 billion
Okay. Yep.
and $1 billion in adjusted net revenue. And they launched Grab Kitchen, Grab Mart,
Yep.
Grab Finance, and Grab Insurance. 2020, they were able to secure a selected digital banking license in Singapore, and they launched Grab Investments and Grab Defense. Not sure what Grab Defense is. So you can see there some pretty significant growth from 2012.
Sounds like online shopping for nuclear missiles and stuff.
Grab Defense. I'm sure that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay, so in regards to monthly users, we could compare Grab, Uber, and Lyft, right?
Yep.
Monthly users on Grab. Do you want to have a guess? Yeah, have a guess.
Monthly users on Grab.
Yeah. It's
I'm
in the
gonna
millions.
say-
It's in the millions.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, it is.
Two figure millions.
Yeah. I
Okay,
know.
cool.
I'm,
Oh, you
I'm-
know.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, no.
perfect,
I
sorry.
mean, I'm estimating, but
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
saying, I'm gonna say it's 55 million.
25.
Okay.
Uber, which is presumably bigger,
Yep.
just to give you a hand. Do you want to have a guess?
In Southeast Asia region or
No,
in
general.
total?
Total.
Oh, Uber in total.
organisation.
Total users.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
yeah. Because at some point, Grab is going to come and compete with them in their same market. So we'll compare the full business.
Uber's total users, I'm gonna say, are per month.
Still two figure millions.
60 million.
91.
Okay.
So fairly significantly more.
Okay.
Yeah. Lyft is an interesting one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Lyft is.
It's still in the millions.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lyft is 30 million.
5.
5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah.
Okay, so 400 cities and 8 countries that they operate in at the moment.
Yep.
Now, I didn't mention at the start that this is a SPAC.
Here we go. Here we go.
More notably, this is the worst
SPAC ever? Is that what you're about to say?
No, it's the world's largest SPAC in regards to proceeds generated from the SPAC acquisition.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. And so they just fairly recently announced their target, which is this company. So let's talk about the SPAC.
Yep.
So the SPAC issuer, or the company behind the SPAC, is called Altimeter Growth Corporation.
Okay.
And they're on the NASDAQ, and the ticker is AGC. Now, it's worth noting, we use a broker called Stake.
Yeah. You can't find it on there? Or?
No promotions here. It's not on there because they have a minimum of $900 million market cap before you can get on Stake.
Yeah.
And they have an $800 million market cap. So whether or not they were going to be able to get on, they're not even big enough yet.
Wait, how'd you say it was the leading... You said it was the biggest SPAC there?
It is.
What? And it has an $800 million market cap?
Yeah. Let me explain.
What about...
It's got a huge pipe. So it's got a huge, private investment side of it.
Right.
Because it's a larger SPAC. It's a larger SPAC acquisition. It is.
Okay.
Because it's like the acquisition part of it, not like the market cap of the shell company.
Okay.
So let me explain it and tell me if it still doesn't make any sense. So this company, Altimeter Growth Corp, is headquarters in California, and the CEO is a guy named Brad Gerstner.
Is it Palo Alto or is it the
place in California?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
So Brad has invested in Interactive Corporation. Have you heard of this company?
Interactive Corporation?
Yeah,
no.
It's really interesting. We might talk about this in the future. So Interactive Corporation just owns like a crap ton of brands.
Okay.
So they own like Investopedia, Vimeo.
Oh yeah.
A couple of different other like pretty notable, really interesting, even niche-y style brands that they've just purchased or whatever.
Yeah.
So that could be a really cool company to look into. But he's also made investments and exits in Google. As well, and another company called MarchX, which is a cool conversation analytics company. Which is interesting.
Okay.
So anyway, needless to say, he's got a bit of background in investments.
Yep.
So this SPAC acquisition expects to have proceeds of $4.5 billion in cash handed over to this new, to Grab.
Okay.
And so that's what makes it the largest SPAC acquisition to date. The pipe size itself is over $4 billion. And so I wasn't quite sure what PIPE stood for. So it stands for Private Investment in Public Equity.
Okay, yeah.
And so you'll hear Chamath talk about it a lot on the All In podcast.
Yeah. And
so their investments include...
say his last name.
Palahapititis or something like that.
All right, now keep going.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. So $4 billion, $750 million is from Altimeter Capital Management, which is the main company that holds the shell company of this SPAC, and then BlackRock, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, and a bunch of other less known.
Yep.
And $500 million of trust proceeds from the initial sale of the stock. So they sold at $10 each, and they must have sold, I think there's 50 or 60 million. There must be 50 million shares outstanding. So that's the proceeds from the IPO of the SPAC.
Okay, yep.
Plus the $4 billion in private is $4.5 billion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So it's $4.5 billion deal value, and that's supposed to be the largest SPAC.
Yep.
What about CCIV that I did the other day, which is like $9 billion? That was Lucid Motors that I was talking about. No, sorry. Anyway, pretend I didn't say that. Keep going.
Gee, interesting. Okay, we'll look into it further.
All right. That sounds good.
So, a difference in this particular acquisition is that all the current shareholders in Grab can sell on day one.
Current said hot voice, by the way, as he's listening.
Who's he talking to?
No, he was on our...
yeah, but you or me?
Well, he messaged it just to me, so it's probably me.
Dang it.
Yes.
So
you're welcome.
So all the shareholders, they can sell first day of... when the acquisition happens and Grab goes public, which is fairly uncommon Usually there's like a lock-up period, which we've talked about before, of a couple of months or something, so that it doesn't tank with all of their staff selling all the shares.
Yeah, lock-up period.
So it'll just be kind of interesting. They don't have that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So the valuation of the company's $30 billion.
Yep.
They say the proceeds is growth capital, so obviously they want to expand to, I'm going to assume, a lot of different countries or whatever it is.
So the value, maybe it's by valuation that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, like the largest company.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, the largest company to SPAC. Even if it's only got $4.5 billion in equity,
Okay.
it can be the largest. Like, it still can be valued at.
Do you think that's
30.
reasonable? Like, do you think that's possible?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it doesn't have to be made up of. It can be made up of private and public.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
like the public equity can be 4.5 or whatever,
Yep.
but it can be valued at 30.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So the target closing date, which is usually a bit ambiguous, is July 2021, but we'll see how that goes. At the moment,
You never really know, hey?
no, you don't really know. They just kind of time it with the market. As I said, the shares IPO'd at $10 each, US price. They're currently at $13, so it's not really big growth at the moment, but that's kind of expected in the current market, I think.
Yeah, SPACs have been getting a really bad rap for the last month and a half.
Yeah.
They've they were the flavour of the month.
They were
about
maybe 2
January
months.
and February.
Yeah, they definitely were, and tables have definitely turned on that. So as I said, the market cap of that SPAC is just 800 mil, and ownership of the SPAC company, 45% is institutions, 20% of that being Altimeter Capital Management, which is the parent company, and 55% is just general public.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty big general public pool. Interesting company. I think it's cool because it's like a huge company that you've never heard of that's like so prominent for so many people, for such a large portion of the world. I'm sure Grab is their whole life, you know?
Yeah.
That's how they get food, that's how they get places, that's how they get deliveries.
For sure, yeah.
So that shows it's got a lot of potential, I think. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see when they actually decide to go public and make that acquisition. As you said, SPACs aren't super popular at the moment, so they might hold off. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
we'll see. I don't own it, and we'll see what the future holds.
Cool.
Any thoughts? No.
No, that's great. That's
Perfect.
that sounds really cool. That's it's interesting going up against Uber and Lyft and that kind of thing, because like they've I don't know if they're considered kind of generally kind of bad, but yeah, it's I don't know.
Bad in what respect?
Well, people don't want to. I don't know. They haven't been succeeding for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like impossible to
Like the
become
business
profitable.
model?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it's become impossible
Like
to
it's a
make
flawed
profit.
business model or something, yeah.
Yeah, and they've never been profitable and
No.
all that kind of stuff.
And
I don't
it
know.
doesn't look like there's a path to
Yeah,
profitability
yeah,
to a
yeah.
certain extent. And then they
Yeah.
get all the problems with like the gig economy where they've got all these people who aren't staff but they are staff, and
Yeah.
you know, the Californian
Independent
hearing.
contractors and and they decide to make them employees.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah. So we'll see. It's this tricky space. So anyway, it's worth watching. Okay, so here's what it says. This is ambiguous. I think what you're saying is correct. Here's a headline from CNBC.
Yep.
SoftBank-backed Grab agrees to deal to go public in world's largest SPAC merger.
Okay.
But I think what you're saying might be correct. Is it the largest SPAC merger?
Or maybe it's got the largest target that has been released that at that time, and it was like this is when it's going to merge at $4.5 billion.
Oh,
And then randomly Lucid went.
no. I know what it is. You're actually right. So there's a second point here underneath the heading that says record-setting SPAC merger with Altimeter Growth Corp, and then valued at nearly $40 billion. So
Okay.
that's the next phrase. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
that's the thing that makes it the largest. The company size, basically.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Nice.
That's one way to do it.
Perfect.
On to our next.
Just a clarification.
Yeah. Well,
Well done.
we'll tie that into our last segment, and we'll be sweet.
Perfect.